Hello, my beautiful Barca babies, and welcome to the live preview for Barcelona, Manchester United Europa League 2023. We're going to be talking lineups, we're going to be talking predictions, we're going to be talking all the relevant news going into this match. It is, of course, Thursday. Kickoff is, I think, 12:45 Eastern, something like that. So we've got under 48 hours. No, what day is today? Today is Wednesday. Under 24 hours. I know what's going on here. All right. Live match preview, like I said, lineups, predictions, and more. Welcome. If you are just joining us for the first time, make sure you subscribe. And for all of you, whether you've been here since day one or you are just finding us for the first time, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you drop a like. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
All right. We are live, my friends. Barcelona, Manchester United. We are almost there. Less than 24 hours. Like I said, we're going to be doing lineups. We're going to be doing predictions. But before we do that, I'm going to check in with the Stash Squad here. I'm going to see who's hanging out with us. Again, this channel is really about the conversation, asking questions, sharing your opinions. All right, this is your opportunity to do so, to connect with your fellow culés. And you know what? In good times and bad, we support the badge and we support each other. This is a great community. Again, if you're just finding us, subscribe so you can participate in the conversation with your fellow culés as we get into this match review. Again, if you're watching on TikTok, hello and welcome. If you want the full experience, again, get on over to YouTube, swipe over to my profile, click the link in the bio. That'll get you over to the right place, which is right here. YouTube, make sure you drop a like if you are enjoying the content. Let's see who's here before we get into a match review. Scrolling through the chat here, I see J75, how we doing? Schlifty, hello, Visca Barca indeed. Winston, how we doing, sir? Anthony Works is with us. Ryan Scott. Anthony says, John, is it true about what is going on with Barca with red stuff? If you're talking about the rules for fans for the match, we are going to be talking about those. Barcelona has been implementing some Frankfurt-inspired rules. So we'll be talking about those rules and, of course, lineups, predictions, all that good stuff. Fabrice is with us. How we doing, sir? Mendo, hello, and welcome. Mario is with us. Fox Gaming is here. Anthony Guajardo, how we doing, sir? Steve Tids is with us. Hello. Okay, that's nice. Anyway, again, friends, if you're watching on TikTok, I appreciate you. Make sure you give me a follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, drop a like. Make sure you subscribe so you can be part of the conversation. I close out a couple more windows here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to turn off my intro there so there's no errors on the show. Ha. All right, here we go, folks. Let's start out with some fun facts provided by the internet. Barcelona hosting Manchester United, of course, 12:45 Eastern tomorrow. Convert that for your time zone. I know we got culés watching from all over the world. So convert that for your time zone, like I said. Quick pause in terms of a live watch along for tomorrow. I don't know yet. It's looking unlikely, but I'm going to try. Okay, so make sure you have notifications turned on. I'll make a post either tonight or tomorrow morning letting you know if we will be live. If not, I'll be watching at some point in the evening. I'll be supporting the badge as always. More on that in a bit. Okay, we'll check in on that. Anyway, I digress. So some fun facts provided by the interwebs here. We got, 5 of them here to go over. All right, Barcelona and Manchester United have faced 13 times in all competitions. 6 Barca wins, 3 Man United wins, 4 draws. The first 3 were in UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, while each of the previous 10 were in the UEFA Champions League. So Barcelona getting the better of United historically. Number 2 here. Barcelona have won each of the last 4 matches in this fixture. The last side that Manchester United lost 5 consecutive matches against was Liverpool between 2000 and 2002. So Barcelona could add to that list with another win against Manchester United at home, at the Camp Nou here. Number 3, Manchester United have won each of their last 5 matches in Europe. Only once before have they won 6 games consecutively in European competition in their first 6 games of the 1965 and 66 season in the European Cup. So, again, odds stacked against Manchester United right now. Number 4 here. Barcelona have lost 5 of their last 11 European matches at the Camp Nou. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. Their previous 5 such defeats were spread across 101 games between 2002 and 2020. I know, huge dip in form for Barcelona in terms of their European status. All right, I get it. Whatever. New era, okay? Have you not seen the documentary? New era. Irrelevant stat. Don't like that one. Anyway, last one here, number 5. Robert Lewandowski has scored 45 goals in his last 37 games in European competition. Wow, hang on. Let that soak in. 45 goals in 37 games for Robert Lewandowski in European competition. He is lights out when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net in European competitions. So, although he has maybe a time or two not gotten the goals that we wanted in big matches. Okay, I'm talking about group stage of Champions League. The stats are there. He's going to come up big for us. I'm betting on Lewandowski in this tie. I think he's a big boy doing big things. Anyway, I continue. While he has been directly involved in 9 goals across his last 3 appearances against English clubs, 2 goals against Spurs in 2019, 1 goal and 2 assists against Chelsea in February of 2020, and another 2 goals and 2 assists against Chelsea in August of 2020. Man, shitting on Chelsea. This would be his first appearance against Manchester United. That's a little fun fact. Robert Lewandowski going to be facing Manchester United for the very first time in his career. How his time at Bayern Munich never crossed paths with a competition against Manchester United, I don't know. But that's a little fun fact. Lewandowski getting a taste of the Red Devils going into this one. Very exciting stuff. We're going to go over the squad. We're going to go over the rules that Barcelona have been implementing here in just one moment. But I, of course, want to get caught up on the chat. Apparently, No has joined the Undefeated community, so welcome, my friend. Give yourself a little shout out. Let us know where you're watching from. We like to introduce folks to the Stash Squad once they've joined. So again, welcome to everybody. Drop a like if you're enjoying the content. I'm going to turn to the chat, see what some of your opinions are so far going into this, and maybe we'll take a look at the squad and then we'll turn to the chat first. Squad list for this one. Only big names missing are Dembele and Busquets. We knew that. That's as expected. We do have Casado coming up, center back from Barça Athletic, along with Alarcón, who's a forward. We, of course, have Pablo Torre, who's been part of the first team for a while here. Not officially, but he's been on the squad list for most of these. Outside of that, it's what we expected. So we will, of course, get to a starting 11. Will Xavi have rotations? Will he not? Are we going to stick with what we've been going with? Are they going to be tired? We just had a match over the weekend, put in a long 90 minutes. We got to talk about it, folks. We got to talk about it, right? So I'm going to turn to the chat and see how people are feeling going into this one. And we'll go over some of the rules for the stadium. We'll talk lineups and predictions here in just a bit. Let me get some water. You got to stay hydrated as well, folks. Jay saying, why isn't Dembele playing? Injured, my friend. Injured right now. He's going to be out for, I think, just another couple of weeks. Second leg he should be ready for. Greg says Rashford is the danger man to watch out for. Have to keep him quiet. Word on the street is Araujo is going to be in charge of man marking Rashford. Don't know how true that is. Of course, that's speculation going into this one, but it might be a case where Araujo is going to be following him wherever he goes on the pitch, a la Vinny Jr. So whether that's Rashford on the left wing and Araujo plays right back, or maybe Rashford moves centrally and then Araujo does the same. Thankfully, our right back Koundé can do the same. He can switch back and forth with Araujo. If Rashford goes to the left side of our defense, the right wing for Manchester United, that's when things start getting interesting. That's when I'm not sure if Araujo is going to follow him along or not. We'll see. Again, we'll get to lineups and predictions here in just a moment. And I missed someone who subscribed. I apologize. I was ranting. I should have paused. I should have acknowledged you. I apologize. But go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let us know where you're watching from, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you joining the Stash Squad. Much love. Much love. Let's see what else we got going on in the chat here. I see some comments around Julian Araujo. Yes, we did sign him. In fact, we can go ahead and touch on that just real quick. Confirmed from Fabricio Romano. Here we go. Julian Araujo to Barcelona. Mexican right back will travel tomorrow to Barcelona. Deal finally done after crazy deadline day saga. Araujo will sign a contract until June 2026. Deal agreed with LA Galaxy, a bit less than $4 million. It's done. Now, here's the thing, folks. I know everyone's kind of hyped about this. We got a young right back joining our squad. Ooh, is this the long-term solution? As I stumble over my words. I hope so. I'll say that. It'd be great if we had Julian Araujo, a young Mexican here, and maybe Serginho Dest coming back, and those two are left and right back second string for a little bit. That would be okay. That's great for CONCACAF. That's great for publicity on this side of the pond. But he's going to be starting with Barça Athletic. So let's just keep that in mind, okay? Let's not get too excited about this. Let's maybe take it with a grain of salt, all right? Understand that he's coming over with Barça Athletic. Now, you can look to other players that started in a similar way and had a fast come up, talking about Pedri and some others, but let's not put those expectations on him. Let's have reasonable expectations. Let's let him have some time with Barça Athletic, and we'll maybe take a look next season, see what he has to say. Now, here's the thing. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Maybe he's an all-star. I honestly haven't watched him play, but coming from the MLS to La Liga, I think there's going to be some learning curves. All right, so we'll see. High expectations, high hopes. I get it, but let's be reasonable here when it comes to young Julian Araujo. Harry, how we doing, sir? I see Saint is in here as well. Saint says Kessié versus Casemiro is going to be interesting. Agreed. That's going to be quite the battle. Interesting for that tie-up. What else we got going on here in the chat? Not Brandon says, John, how do you feel about Julian Araujo is from your rival country? It's fine. I mean, we've had Rafa Marquez. We've had the Dos Santos brothers come through. It's fine. Here's the thing, folks. What I've noticed about European clubs is that they tend to try to have a player from each market that they're trying to get a fan base in. So as soon as Barcelona saw someone who was American, part of the U.S. men's national team, and had a chance at making their squad, talking about Serginho Dest, they're like, yes, please. Yes, please. Conrad de la Fuente was on the verge. On the verge. He got some playing time, but not an official debut in La Liga before moving on to Marseille. I never say that name right, whatever it is. So, again, Barcelona, Marquez, the Dos Santos brothers, you tend to have some representation from Mexico on Barcelona. So, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. High hopes. If he performs well, I'll be as excited as anybody else. I'm certainly not going to be against him just because we have that national team rivalry. You put that away during club season. Takwa would be your name, I believe. Takwa pointing out Dos Santos were academy players. Sure, absolutely. All right, folks, again, on Twitter, swipe over, click the link in my profile. That'll get you over to the YouTube channel if you want the full experience. Okay. A little bit more to go over before we get to lineups and predictions here. Let's talk about these recommendations for fans attending the game at Spotify Camp Nou. When they say recommendations, I'm very curious to see how strongly this is going to be enforced. They recommend you getting there early because there's going to be congestion, use of public transit to get to the Spotify Camp Nou. If you're coming by car, blah, 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 enter the ground and find your seat. Names on tickets will be checked with ID documentation. That's important, folks. If they do not coincide, the corresponding ticket may be confiscated. That means Barcelona fans, particularly ones with season tickets that can't change the name, there will be no selling, forwarding, gifting of those tickets to Manchester United Red Devil fans. All right. Name on the tickets got to match the person coming in the stadium. That means the person would have had to purchase the ticket themselves, which means that Manchester United fans are going to stay where they're supposed to. Make sure you have your documentation ready before arriving at access gates and stadium to blah, blah, blah. Access to areas for home fans will not be permitted for those wearing Manchester United colors. Thank you. Thank you. That's how it should be. That's what they missed during Frankfurt. Access to areas for home fans will not be permitted for those wearing Manchester United colors. So no roja in the home sections, unless you're wearing a flat-out Barcelona kit, of course. But if you're just wearing red, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro. You better have some blue on with that red, okay? That's what Camp Nou is saying. You better have a little strip of blue at least with that red if you're going to come into the home section of the stadium. So happy to see that. I really am. Happy to see that. We've gone over the squad. We've gone over the rules. We've talked about Julian Araujo. What else, folks? Let me catch up on the chat one more time. It is at the Camp Nou. Yes, the Spotify Camp Nou, as they say. Ange, how we doing, sir? Says, have you heard anything about the allegations of Barca paying refs? I haven't, and I'm just not even... Nope. Not even going to pull out that thread. There's no way that's true. Given the treatment that Barcelona get, there's no way the allegations of Barcelona paying the refs can be true. I would struggle to imagine a worse bang for your buck if Barcelona are paying off these referees. We struggle to get the calls that you would expect a home team to get when we are the home team, let alone the calls that we don't get or the ones that we get called against us when we're not the home team. It's pretty off balance, just objectively speaking. So any allegation of Barcelona paying referees, to me, if you've been watching these matches, is pure nonsense. Just saying. Just saying. Ayush, how we doing, sir? Just somebody mentioned that there was perhaps some allegations of Barcelona paying for the refs, and I just can't imagine it. Can't imagine it. Again, a late happy birthday to you, Ayush. I hope you celebrated well, and I hope you got all the things that you wished for. Spent some time with friends and family, all that good stuff. Glad to have you here, good sir. Ayush, of course, is the, I'll say, primary stash mod, okay? Love you, Kudis. Love you, Cash. Love you, Steve, of course. But Ayush coming up big, holding things down here for us. So, Ayush, again, happy birthday, my dude. Shout out to all my stash mods. Steve, I'm with you, my dude. Of course, you know I am. Kudis and Cash. Hi, guys. Greg says, we basically need to prioritize shutting down Man United's midfield. We do that, and you starve their danger men of the ball. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ayush says, fake news. That was incomplete news. Right word. We'll see. How was Valentine's Day? It was great. My wife and I actually, and this is a pro tip for everybody, okay? My wife and I don't celebrate those things, all right? You don't make a big deal out of it. The roses, the candy, the dinners. Nope. Same thing with birthdays. Same thing with Christmas. Give each other a break, all right? Love each other every day. Show that love every day. And then just don't with the big gifts and the this and the that and the bells and the... No, you don't need it, all right? Just saying. Pro tip from a married guy, all right? With that out of the way, my friends, I think we are ready to discuss a starting 11 for Barcelona going up against Manchester United. And there's, of course, some debate here. Is Xavi going to have any rotation? We're not sure. I'm going to predict what Xavi's going to go with. And then after that, I'm going to tell you what maybe I would do, what I would change going into this. All right, so there's going to be two versions of this lineup. Again, starting with what Xavi, I believe, is going to go with. All right, I'm very confident in this one. Starting from the back, the trusty Ter Stegen. between the posts. You know him, you love him. Fresh hair, fresh attitude, having a career season. Ter Stegen, big boy, doing big things. In front of him, this one might be a surprise, but I'm going Jordi Alba. I think for the experience, just for the experience, I think we're going Jordi Alba. Again, I'm trying to get in Xavi's head here. Balde having a tremendous season, a big step up, but I do want to see if he goes with Jordi Alba for the experience. Okay, and that's what I'm predicting. Jordi Alba on the left, Koundé on the right to start out, but a lot of that depends on Marcus Rashford. If Marcus Rashford is out on that left wing for United, then you might see a little transition. You might see Araujo start wide, and you might see Koundé play centrally. Again, we'll see. We'll see. Some of this is like trying to get in Xavi's head, and it's a struggle at times. All right. This is the first match in Europa League, so without seeing what he's going with for a starting 11, for the first time, you don't know how much emphasis, how much priority he's putting on this tournament. This is actually a defining moment. Whatever lineup Xavi goes with, if it's heavy on the rotation, you know that this is not really a priority for Barcelona. I digress. Let's get through this, and then we'll get into those talking points. Okay. With Koundé on the right-hand side, we're going Christensen, we're going Araujo. Okay. Spoiler alert. You guys are picking up on the theme. We're going with what is trusted and true here. I do think Barcelona want this. I do think they want that Europa League trophy in their cabinet. It's not the most prestigious, but it does complete the set. You know what I'm saying? So I think Xavi's going to go for this one, all right? We've got a comfortable 8-point lead at least. Actually, Real Madrid just played. Maybe we'll look at those results here in a minute. But we've got at least an 8-point lead in La Liga. We can, if we want to, prioritize, go with a strong lineup. That includes Frankie de Jong. That includes Pedri. That includes Kessié. Busquets injured, of course, but we're loving what we're seeing from Frankie. We're loving what we're seeing from Kessié. Centrally, we're going Lewandowski. No doubt. First match against Manchester United, he's going to step up. I'm feeling good. He typically plays well against English clubs. We looked at some stats against, Chelsea and Tottenham. 3 matches, big performances. I expect the same against Manchester United. I really do. So Lewandowski, he will be surrounded by Gavi on that left wing. Pseudo left wing, more of a left attacking mid. He drops in plenty deep for defensive support there. Sometimes he'll drop underneath Lewandowski, get some counterattacks going. So you know him, you love him. The new number 6, he'll be on that left wing. And then raphinha, number 22 on that right wing. And actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I'm pretty sure Gavi has to wear number 30 for Europa League. I'm pretty sure. We'll go ahead and update that live. Look at that. Live action, folks. Live updates. Thank you. Thanks, production team. Appreciate y'all in the back, in the studio. My whole real, very real production team doing live updates. Thank you. Appreciate it. So raphinha, Gavi, Lewandowski. This is the lineup that Xavi's been going with, folks. I think, like I said, we go with this lineup one more time. Then we rest over the weekend. We got Cadiz coming up. Not that that's a gimme match. We've actually struggled against them recently, gotten the points, but not dominant victories like you would expect. So with the 8-point lead in La Liga, with that Europa League trophy missing from the cabinet, I think we go in with a top-tier squad, a top starting 11. On the bench, we've got plenty of players coming up from Barça Athletic. We've got Ferran, we've got Ansu. But really, the only players that I believe we can rely on are Alonso and Balde. Okay, and speaking of Alonso, there's one little curveball that Xavi might throw, which would be Christensen off. And hang on, let me turn off those lines real quick. Hey, production team, can you get the lines off those gold lines? Production team, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. So Christensen might be off, and maybe Alonso. And here's why I say this. It provides us the opportunity to switch to a 3-back if we wanted to. Pedri would drift over a little bit. We come in a little bit like this. We come in a little bit like this, a little bit like this, and Jordi Alba would be up here if we go with Alonso. Not saying we can't do that with Christensen. We certainly can, but that left foot of Alonso allows him to still push up into that gap if need be. Okay, so I don't think that's what Xavi is expected to go with. I do expect him to go with Christensen. All right, but curveball could be Alonso. Okay, if I'm picking the lineup, if it's me, right, Mustache John gets to pick his 11, then we're close. We're close on what I would go with Xavi wise. But if it's me, I'm going Balde. Balde all day, Balde all night. Whoops, I didn't mean to take off Christensen there. Christensen, get back in there, you silly goose. I wasn't talking about you. Jordi Alba to the bench. Balde getting in there. That would be my lineup, okay? Again, I think Xavi's going to go for the more seasoned, the more experienced Jordi Alba in this case. But it's good to have options. It's good to have options, folks. Either way, from center back to right back, midfield, forward, I'm pretty confident this is what we're going with. If I'm wrong about this being a priority for Barcelona, then what we're going to see is Gavi on the bench, Ansu Fati in, Raphinha on the bench, Ferran Torres in. If we see this lineup, then we know that Xavi does not care about Europa League, does not want to prioritize it. He will be focusing on La Liga. He will be focusing on Copa del Rey. He will be focusing on Supercopa. And he will let whatever happens if we see this lineup. Okay, so that's the three variations. I showed you what Xavi is likely to go with. I showed you, well, a fourth variation, really. Xavi, what he's likely to go with, a little curveball if he plays Alonso. I told you what I would go with, and then this is what Xavi would go with if he basically doesn't really care all that much. All right, so those are your options. Let me know what you think about the lineups. Prediction-wise, this is a tough one. I'm not even doing any Barca bets on this. That's how unconfident I'm feeling. That's how shaky I'm feeling about these predictions. But prediction for Barcelona versus Manchester United, I'm going 2-1 to Barcelona. I'm going goals for Marcus Rashford on United, and then Lewandowski and Gavi. Lewandowski and Gavi coming up big for Barcelona. So Marcus Rashford for United, Lewandowski and Gavi for Barcelona. 2-1 victory. Lock it in. That's my predictions. I'm going to turn to the chat. I know I missed a donation from Ayush, but I didn't want to interrupt the lineup. I knew you would understand because you love and support me. So Ayush, thank you so much. You didn't need to do that, you silly goose. But thank you so much for the support. Of course, any donations that come through, it goes to supporting the channel, whether it's going to promotions or paying for some software, some hardware that I use, lights and cameras and all that stuff. So I do appreciate it very much. I know the world is a weird place. So I appreciate everybody who has found their way here and is choosing to spend their time with me. I really do appreciate it. Very, very thankful for the support. So again, that's where I'll turn to the chat, see how people are feeling about the lineup, and let me switch it back to what I believe Xavi is realistically going to go with. Zip, zip, zip. Little switch, little change. That's what I think we're going to see, but I do think Balde is going to start on the bench. And I think we're going to see Jordi Alba sneaking in at left back. That to me is the biggest question, Jordi or Balde, and not who do you prefer, but who do you think Xavi is actually going to start? That's maybe where we can begin the conversation. Who do you think Xavi is going to choose at left back? Jordi Alba or Balde going up against Man United? That's the question, my friends. Turn to the chat, see how we're feeling. Mario says 5 goals, Barcelona is my prediction. Love the optimism. Fox Gaming says 2-1, Pedri and Lewandowski. I almost said Pedri. That's kind of what I saw, but something told me to go Gavi. So we'll see. If you end up being right, I'll be happy for you. Ball Clips, welcome sir, says this game has more hype than Champions League. Yeah, for some of these matches, absolutely. There's some good ties in Champions League, but like today, for example, Spurs Milan, you know what I mean? But there's some good matches as I fight through some hiccups. Excuse me. Speaking of Champions League, we do talk about Champions League predictions and more on the Engine Room podcast. Just released another episode. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on YouTube. The Engine Room podcast, the Engine Room football. Again, Spotify, YouTube, check us out. It's me, Hugo Luis, Pablo Woz Blanco. You know us, you love us, the Engine Room roomies. Check us out every Monday. Right now-ish, we're working out, all right? We had a few technical problems. If you listened to the episode, you caught that, but we're working through it, all right? We're working through it, folks. Again, production team in the back, they'll get on it. They'll get on it. Tight crew back there. Good folks. Ayush is saying we're going Balde. Harry going with the 2-1 win for Barça, saying Raphinha and Pedri. I see over in TikTok, we got some folks saying we're going with the same lineup that Xavi's been going with. Fox Gaming says, Pedri is off the charts and sneaking goals left and right. I have no doubts he's going to get us a winner against Man United. That'd be beautiful. Beautiful storyline. Absolutely. JJ, how we doing, sir? Glad you were able to join us. Mario says, Chelsea lost to Dortmund. They didn't start Aubameyang. Yeah, Aubameyang's not even on. You know that. You know Aubameyang's not on the squad. Left off, unfortunately. Too bad. Scrolling back out, just looking for predictions. I see Kai saying 4-2. Wow, a shootout. Lewandowski on the double, Raphinha and Gavi, and then Rashford and Weghorst. Okay, love the prediction. JJ saying 2-1, Lewandowski and Pedri. A lot of folks going Lewandowski and Pedri right now, feeling that combination. And I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Darklight says Pulisic clears Pedri and Gavi. As an American, I want to go with you on that one, but I got to disagree, my friend. Speaking of Pulisic, though, he's going to be on the transfer wire. Just saying. Chance to pick up an American. Just saying. Excuse me. Still getting rid of a little bit of a cold there, but we'll get through it. Last little bit here. Ayush says Frankie scoring at Old Trafford would be nice. Ooh, a little dagger, right? Absolutely. After they tried to bring him on over to the dark side of the Red Devils. Wouldn't allow it, though. Wouldn't let it happen. Would not let it happen. All right. Anyway, folks, like I said, in terms of a live watch along for tomorrow, it's up in the air. I would say 60-40, probably no. And I don't want to say that just because if we end up having it, then a lot of you are going to be like, John, you said we're not going to have it. So I'm saying maybe, but probably not on the live stream. I'd got to finagle a few things in my schedule to make it happen. And I don't know if I can. All right. I'm going to try. I'm going to let everybody know probably tomorrow morning. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss any announcements about the live streams. One way or another, we will be live Friday morning to cover a full match overview. We'll talk about the good, the bad, and the Barça from Barcelona, Manchester United. All that and more happening on the channel. So again, one more time, drop a like if you're enjoying the content. Make sure you double tap the screen if you're watching on TikTok. Give me a follow on this side. Subscribe on this side. And wherever you're watching, TikTok or YouTube, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a beautiful night. I hope you're having a good morning, wherever you're watching from. I think I got all the time zones covered. All right. I will see you, if not tomorrow, then Friday. Again, turn on notifications. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm going to wrap things up. Barcelona, Man United preview done. I love y'all. High fives and hugs for whoever wants them. I'll catch you next time right here on the Undefeated channel. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. Mwah.